Hey everybody, it's A Social Guy, and today being Pi Day, I figured I'd make a video on how to memorize some of pi. In high school, me and my friend memorized a bunch of pi, and I ended up getting to about 200. So I don't know if this is the best technique, but it's definitely one that worked for me, if you're just feeling like learning some pi instead of eating it. But here we go. So you start off with pi 3.14159265. Okay, we'll just start with this. The first bit of pi that you may want to remember, 3.1415926535897932384626. Okay, here's how I started learning, and it's a technique called chunking or grouping. And basically what that is it's a lot easier to remember a group of numbers, such as 1415, all together rather than 1, 4, 1, and 5 separately. So what I did is I went through and found a bunch of groups that I could make. So we have 1415. I thought 926 was a good group because 535, this pattern, followed after it. So I grouped this. 8979, so you have a 9 following each number, and the number 9 follows decreases by 1, so I figured that would be another good group. We have another pattern here, 323. I didn't find anything significant about this other than the 626, so that basically left 84 to be its own group. So I've seen a lot of tutorials where they say you want to group pi into groups of 4 and do that for all of pi, or groups of 5 even. But I didn't really like that much, because then you end up having things like 3, 2, 3, 8, 4, or I don't know, 8, 9, 7, 9, 3, 2. If you do groups of 6, and then you end up losing this 323, which is a really easy pattern to remember. So as you're going through pi, find out the groups that stick in your mind the most, and then all you're left with is 3.1. You know all the numbers that follow because you memorized this group. And then how do you get from one group to the next? That became the main difficulty for me. And basically what I did was figure out the distance between the last number in each group, and then that will get you to your new group, and you remember the groups. So that's pretty much how I did it. So 1415, I was thinking, what's the next number? How do I figure out what my next group is? Because if I can just get the first number of that group, I would remember the rest. And basically I remembered little things like, how far is it from 5 to 9? So 4. So after I said 3.1415, and I'm thinking, what is the next number? Oh yeah, it's I go up by 4. So then I remember, oh yeah, 9. 926, it's a group. And then after 926, I figure out the next difference. So it's a decrease of 1. So here I say 3.1415. Oh yeah, it's up by 4, so 926. What's after that? It's a decrease of 1. Put a minus there. 535, we have that pattern. And then I think you get the point. And there we go. So we have all of our groups divided up, and then we have the distance between the last number in each group to the first number in the next group. So now we're going through, and really all you have to remember is what these groups are in whatever order. But remember, you could just have a list of all these groups, but if you knew that after 8979 you're going to be going down 6, you're going to know, oh yeah, 323. And by the time you have reoccurring groups such as groups of 3. By the time you have those, you'll have gone over where 323 is to have pretty much eliminated even having to remember that group, and if you have repeated pi that many times. So that's pretty much all I did, and I did that up to 200 digits, and I printed off a page of pi, which I'll put a link in the description of what I used, and I basically went through lines and lines and lines of pi and highlighted my groups that I was going to use. And then I did a line a day, going down, just one line of pi a day, and eventually I got to 200 pretty quick. And I think it took about a week during school, just during library hours. And that's basically the technique I used, and it's called grouping or chunking, and I hope it helps you out too. Thanks for watching. It's A Social Guy. Like, comment, subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see y'all next time.